So the heart is a potent doorway to beingness, to the knowing of beingness, to the resting, the deep relaxation into the fullness of beingness as our fundamental nature. There's the personal dimension of heart, and there's the impersonal dimension of heart. We could say the personal dimension of heart is the conditioned heart. The impersonal dimension of heart is the unconditioned heart. The transition, if you like, the shift from the personal to the impersonal, from the conditioned or conditional, might be a better way to describe it, the conditional heart, from the conditional to the unconditional. The conditional heart is where perhaps we might give or receive love. It's transactional, or at least give and receive our idea of love. Yeah, it's transactional. In this sense, it's the heart that opens and closes. If we remain as that conditional heart, transactional heart, then the full potency, the full power, the full depth and beauty is not revealed to us. Transactional heart or transactional love is based on need. I need you to love me, or I need life to love me. I need God to love me. And if I don't get what I need to make me feel loved, then I will reject or close or retract or shut down, withhold something. So in this dimension, there is resentment, regret, rejection, judgment, which can also be judgment of ourselves. In other words, the nuts and bolts of grievances that make up the armoring of the heart, which essentially is an energetic tension or contraction, which is experienced on all levels of the human being, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Yeah, so this whole area, the chest area, the lung area, the rib cage, becomes contracted. So breath becomes shallow. There can be tension or tightness here. There can be a kind of sunken inness, or the opposite, a sort of puffed upness. Both of these are an armoring, a symptom of armoring. That armoring, those grievances, what we call grievances, are really a form, a false form, yeah, because it doesn't actually work, but it seems to work, a form of protection, a way of protecting ourselves from feeling hurt, vulnerable, tender. Because somewhere along the line, in our past, in our childhood, in our infancy, we learnt that life hurts, or the response, the reflection we get from our parents, from our caretakers, from our society, which is all life, manifestation of life as it appears to us, hurts. It rejects, it judges, it is conditional mostly because of the unconscious human condition. And so we learn to create strategies, emotional and mental strategies, which we call grievances, which essentially are a lack of forgiveness. Yeah, forgiveness in the truest sense, which is simply letting it be. Letting it be without an emotional, mental overlay, which is the strategy. This shouldn't have happened. You shouldn't do this to me. This is wrong. You're wrong, or I'm wrong, or I shouldn't, yeah. Which creates rejection, contraction, resentment, judgment, and yeah, everything associated with that. Those strategies become like a knee-jerk reaction to protect us, seemingly, from the feeling of vulnerability, openness, letting it be. Letting it be is an openness. Yeah? I'm not talking about physical abuse. Yeah, we have to be careful here, because there's often a misunderstanding. Well, that means I just have to put up with harmful situations and circumstances and people being cruel to me, or parents being cruel to me, or whoever. No, no, no. I'm talking about the inner world here. The inner world, which is in response to the outer world, but it's the inner world. And the more subtle realm of the kind of strategies we put up when we don't like what our parents say, or what our partner says, or how they are, or how life is, or what life gives me or doesn't give me, and all of that, yeah? These are subtle strategies of defense, defendedness, that create an armoring around the heart. And then we remain in a transactional relationship with life, transactional with others, and transactional with ourselves. Yeah, with ourself. This keeps the powerful or potent portal of the heart in a very limited dimension. Yeah. So in order to access the full glory of the unbounded heart, it's not about denying all that, or overriding all that and coming to some kind of spiritually conceptual idea of the self as all loving, all forgiving, and so on. No, no, no. It's about meeting what hurts, meeting vulnerability with tenderness. That's the doorway in. To be willing to touch lightly that which hurts, that which makes us vulnerable. And remember, I'm talking internally here. If there is resentment, if there is regret, if there is vulnerability, if there is bitterness, whatever it might be, to be honest. Yeah, honesty is an aspect of the heart. Yeah, most often we cover all these things up with other strategies, yeah, which harden and tighten, and then we're not really honest with ourselves. Openness comes with vulnerability, not the vulnerability of the victim self, but this vast, open, groundless ground of being. It's the ultimate vulnerability. The unbounded heart is the same as unbounded awareness. It's not transactional. It is openness itself.